This is For What It's Worth, the world's first Merryworth podcast. Sam and Eric use coarse language, and if you are offended by coarse language, please save yourself some trouble and cover your ears.
You're a butterfly, and butterflies are free to fly. Fly away, high away, bye-bye. Someone saved, someone saved, someone saved For What It's Worth, the world's first and only Merryworth podcast. My name is Sam.
And I'm Eric.
Prepare for trouble.
And make it tumble. Because we're on episode 22.
22, that's 2 twos. The episode's so nice, we named it twice.
Double the pleasure, double the fun. With double the Merryworth.
That's the statement of the great mint and For What It's Worth. So last week we had a good time, man.
Oh man, we had a blast. That was a crazy party we went to.
To fill you guys in on things, Eric and I are currently dead, and we're haunting a house out in the middle of the woods, and...
Yeah, now we're ghosts. We're
ghosts.
Vengeful, horrible ghosts.
Now, see, we could either be like the Patrick Swayze ghost, where we're going around, like, trying to save our lost love.
Hugging ladies while they're doing pottery. But nope.
No, we decided to be like the poltergeist ghosts.
Yeah, that's just more fun. You know?
See, I prefer the evil ghost stories to the Patrick Swayze. Like, we're not Ghost Dad, for God's sake.
Oh, do I look like Bill Cosby to you? Nope.
Do I look like Bill Cosby? This is my Bill Cosby impression. Wow. Was that good?
Yeah, that was spot on.
So anyway, these teenagers came into the house, and Eric and I...
they were making such a ruckus. So we decided to give them a little bit of...
a little bit of a scare, a little bit of a fright.
How did you start this off? Sam, go ahead and tell them.
Well, first off, we kicked open the doors and we ran at him, screaming and rattling chains and howling.
Saying we're dead, just to reassure them that we weren't that ghost.
In case they thought we were just home invaders, no, we needed to let them know that we were dead ghosts. So. And that made them scatter to all four points of the house. We slammed the door, locked them all in, and if they could have survived until dawn, we would have let them go.
Yes,
but we ended up murdering all of them.
They weren't very bright.
There were those two that, like, you know, they'd had a kind of a rocky relationship, but this turmoil they were put in pulled them together, and they were making out in one of the closets. And then dude, I will not forget the look on their face when I came in with that fire poker and shoved it through the back of the guy's head and into the girl's mouth.
Yeah. Good one.
Oh, their heads were pinned together and they were going... It was great.
I couldn't make out what they were saying, but oh, it was funny.
It was probably something like, "Oh, help, help, this hurts, we're dying, ah!" Something funny like that. But that was about the time you chased the skinny nerdy kid down the hall and he found him like that.
Yeah. What a dork.
He started having that fucking asthma attack. I thought I was gonna die.
And then
again.
And then I chased off the balcony, and he fell off and got impaled on that candelabra. Oh, that was crazy.
And then the tough black guy that came with him, who was talking shit the whole time, came in, and he's like, "Where is everybody?" And then we cut the chandelier down, and it fell down, and the crystals on the chandelier sliced him up to ribbons.
Cut him into, like, slices of bacon.
Oh, man.
And then one of them had fallen asleep, so I went into their nightmares, and I found their worst fear, and I killed them by being attacked by deadly bees. And then when they died in the dream, they also died in real life.
That's a classic Kruger right there, man.
It's just the classic moves.
But we've got a little bit of a problem now. Is we're in this house with a bunch of rotting bodies, and I think it's about time we moved on.
We should probably get going next week, We're recording, so we can't do it now, but next week.
Oh yeah, definitely. Next week we'll pack up the studio after we're done recording here and move on.
And, I don't know if you knew this, but if I were still alive today, tomorrow would be my birthday.
Are you serious?
So, this was the best birthday present a guy could ask for.
Eric, happy birthday, buddy. From me to you.
Oh, thank you very much.
See, folks, even after you die, you can celebrate birthdays in the afterlife forever with your dead friends.
Yes.
So speaking of a whole bunch of dead people, what happened on Mary Worth?
Oh, everyone got rescued, and then Mary,
Toby.
Judy, or whatever her name is.
Judy and her husband Phil.
Ian Cameron, and they were watching the news. And then the man with the baby voice came on.
I'm a little baby.
I was telling everyone what was going on, and that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it, but Wilbur and Dawn were en route back to Charterstone.
They were coming home.
And that's where we catch up with the Westons on Monday's strip. When Wilbur and Dawn returned to Charterstone... Mary, at one point I wasn't sure we were gonna make it.
But we did, Dawn.
Unfortunately.
Now let me just palm these potatoes.
Mary, I thought I told you I don't like boiled potatoes. I like to mash so I don't have to chew them.
I'm gonna mash them with my own bare hands.
Wilbur looks like a 3-year-old after he's been eating.
Yeah.
Just all over his shirt and his hands and his face.
I died. He throws his hands up in the air.
Spills his milk.
Thanks to the help of the other passengers, crew, and the rescue team.
Even so, remember the people at the lifeboats?
Mary, you look a little bit like a professional boxer. Over there.
She's looking a little punch drunk, isn't she?
Her nose is twisted off to the side. Bulgy.
Mary's just sitting there and she's going, when are these two idiots going to stop talking so I can tell them about Ask Wendy? Listen, you survived. Get over it.
Also, I like Mary's man in the yellow hat jacket she's got going on there.
Well, doesn't Wilbur have about the same mentality as a chimp?
Yeah, pretty. Now, Wilbur, eat your potatoes like a good boy.
Weren't all the Curious George books about George nearly getting killed by horrible things?
Yeah, I can see the the illusions here.
Yeah, I can definitely draw a comparison between a dumb chimp who almost gets himself killed and a dumb fat man who almost spills ass into the ocean and dies. Well, we got a comic on Tuesday we could read.
Oh, we do. We do indeed.
Why don't we read that one, then?
It was an ugly scene, Mary. Every man, woman, and child, for him or herself.
People went nuts once they opened the lifeboat gates. What's going on with Mary's face?
Yeah, she's got a little, Aunt May kind of thing going on.
Peter, dear, I don't know where you're going at night, but this is no way to deal with the death of your Uncle Ben.
How many people know this? But Mary Worth was originally part of the cast of the Golden Girls.
Yeah, is she being played by Estelle Getty in these strips?
Yes, I think so. That was humanity at its worst.
It was! And then Dawn looks at the camera and winks. Brutal.
oh.
Dawn!
Da-da-da.
Let's give that girl a hand. Woo! Good one, Dawn.
And then fade to black. Commercial break. Oh. And of course the classic Joe Gilia paintings.
That are just black smears.
Yep.
I believe that the late Mr. Worth was a psychologist, and he proudly displayed his
Yes.
Rorschach tests everywhere.
And that's why Mary's this way, always judging people, figuring out what they're thinking.
Yeah, Mary was a teacher, but she just kind of rode on her husband's coattails.
Yep. All right, so Wednesday?
Wednesday? Is that a day of the week?
I think so.
Is that one of the new ones?
And I think there's a comic on that day as well.
Oh, well, why don't I read it?
Let's do it.
If not for the passengers who helped save my dad... Ellipsis.
On a team for restaurants by helicopter.
We wouldn't be sitting here telling our story.
That was humanity at its best. It's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. This porridge was just right.
Do you think Wilbur and Dawn rehearsed this, like, switching back and forth between lines on the helicopter out of Italy?
Like, okay, then how are we gonna do this? Okay, you go with the telling the story part, and then I'll go like this.
and then they start doing the who's on first routine. They had a lot of time to work on their act. So they started out with their tale of harrowing terror and survival, and then they go straight into Old Smothers Brothers routines.
Yes. That's why Mary's got her hand on her face. She's like, oh God, they're spending so much time together that they're finishing each other's sentences. Oh.
Dawn, you need to get out of the house. You need to find some guy to replace Dave, because right now, you're closer with your father than any daughter should be.
Oh, dear. I need to get this girl a new boyfriend.
Luckily, Mary has a notebook full of young single men in her apartment, so that she can, as soon as possible, get every single woman she knows married. Because that is the only thing that women are good for, is getting married and then having babies. In Mary Worth, anyway.
Yes.
I wasn't trying to be misogynist there.
Wednesday? Thursday? Wait.
We just did Wednesday,
Thursday.
ding dong. Let's do
It's
Thursday. We could do Wednesday again if you want.
Oh, that's okay.
Alright, we'll move on. I felt hopeful after seeing people pull together and help each other. It restored my faith in people again.
And after we were rescued from the ship, nearby townspeople offered their home and shelter to us. I took over the house of a nice couple and I kicked them out on the street.
They forgot their keys, so they couldn't get back in, and Dawn and I stood in the window and laughed at them. I guess they don't have police in Italy.
Yeah.
They helped us. Total strangers.
Now let me caress my locket here.
I'm waiting for that locket to come back in play. She's still wearing it.
You didn't throw it off the boat, you dummy. God
We're gonna
damn
have to
it.
go back to Italy. Also, has Dawn just not changed clothes since they got back? She was wearing that purple dress on the ship.
She likes the way the ocean water smells on her.
She likes that good brackish smell.
Friday?
Friday.
Let's do it.
Tell me again how you survived as the ship was sinking. Some jumped and swam to shore, but I couldn't leave my father behind.
Look at the size of Dawn's head.
Is Dawn transforming into a giant again?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe it's like the salt water. Made her all bloated.
She's just swelling. Or is it that we've just never noticed how small Wilbur is?
Aw, look at the little guy. He's like a little ventriloquist dummy.
I'm picturing Wilbur now like the size of a basketball, and Dawn just carries him around.
Other passengers, help save me when the boat was tilting.
Luckily, we were picked up by a helicopter rescue crew. We just said that a couple days ago. But let's reiterate it, in case Mary wasn't paying attention.
Dawn, what are you looking at? She's just staring off into the distance, like, alright.
It's one of those moments where she's like, you wouldn't ever understand what these eyes have seen.
It pans in, and there's fire and screaming, and flesh melting off of bones.
And that video of a monkey washing a cat in a sink.
Yes. That really just disturbed Dawn.
She did not like that one bit. What's going on with Mary here? Mary, a little bit out of it.
You too. You're the most adored family I know.
She's gonna reach over and pinch them both on the cheek. I love you, guy. Oh wait, I was doing Dawn. I love you too. Mwah. Mwah. Give them each a little kiss.
Alright, Saturday. As they say in Italy.
Is that Italian for Saturday? Is Saturdeo? Saturdatino. It all sounds very harrowing. I'm glad you lived to tell the tale.
We're so grateful for those who helped us.
If the camera in that panel were pointing the other way, you would be able to see me and Eric peeping our little heads up over the windowsill.
Just look at it. What are they doing in there?
It's raining outside and we're so cold and hungry.
Also, Wilbur's head looks quite a bit like a bowling ball from this vantage point.
He's like the little guy on the Bic Pens package.
Yes, haha. It's got a big round head.
And to think I felt my world was ending before this trip. I feel silly I was hung up over Dave. Wah, wah, wah.
Oh, you nut. All it took was a bunch of people dying. You know how silly you were.
All it took was tons of bloodshed and hideous death. If only we could all be as mature as Dawn.
Or as happy about it as Mary is, apparently. She's just like glowing.
That's the thing. Other people's suffering fuels Mary's power.
She's just staring into the steam off her coffee.
The steam rising off her coffee forms into the shape of a skull, and Mary just smiles.
Chuckles. Yes. Wonderful.
Everything's coming to fruition. Mary Worth has work to do in Italy now. There are a lot of grieving families.
She does what she does whenever she hears like a horrible tragedy. She travels to that location and goes around to talk to people because she loves hearing people grieve.
She, while the person is crying, she reaches over to, like, wipe their tears.
Yes.
But secreted in the palm of her hand is a little vial that she collects a couple tears in as she's wiping them away.
And that's how she's barely aged since, like, the 1940s.
Other people's sorrow makes Mary stay young. She pulls on one of the many books on her bookshelves, and then a secret room opens up, and there are just walls lined with these little glasses. Each one has a name and a date on it.
Ooh, thank you very much, Carmen.
She's got it hidden away like fucking Dexter's thing of blood slides.
So, Sunday?
Sunday! There's no narration panel again this week, so it's just an orange building with the words Mary Worth in big red letters.
Oh, okay, so, since we don't know who's saying this, why don't we just do it in unison, since that seems to be what they were leading up to anyway?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. We
survived thanks to the help and support of others. Oh my god, this is the best line. My belief in humanity returns!
And then she just thrusts her fist into the air, and there's like a lightning bolt that hits her. And her eyes just glow gold.
As she says it, there's an echo, and then the background drops out, and she's against a star field as a bunch of meteors fly past.
I have a power!
Alright. As Wilbur and Dawn process their ordeal on the ill-fated cruise ship, what I thought was important, now in perspective, was not.
Don't be too hard on yourself, Dawn. You were in love with Dave.
Let me just rub it in.
That was nothing compared to almost losing you, Dad. And then she goes on her cheek.
Oh, great. Well, you think, Dawn, you think breaking up with some asshole is nothing compared to almost dying and your dad dying? Oh.
And now Dawn starts picking up on her dad's bad habits.
Yes.
Back off! And almost losing my own life!
And she lunges towards Mary. Her face is right up against hers.
And then she beeps Mary's nose.
Meep. Also, Dawn's face got very round in that panel there.
Like I said, she's taken after her dad now. Just a big meaty face right up in the camera.
She's got that, what's that guy with the magnet in the powder that you can make into the faces and stuff?
Oh, Wally Willy, or Wooly Willy.
Wooly Willy.
Yeah, that's it.
She's about as round as he is now.
Oh. Meanwhile, Wilbur's editor watches the news of the cruise ship disaster aftermath. The paper will strike gold with an eyewitness account from its very own. I have an assignment for Weston. Miss Brandt, get Peter Parker in here. Have him find Wilbur Weston and get him in my office ASAP.
Oh, JJ, always trying to make a cover story.
He does not care that Wilbur almost died. It's time for that lazy sack of crap to get back to work.
I like that he could be practically steepling his fingers in that panel.
He's very like Mr. Burns right there, yeah.
Got the big chair. He's just kind of relaxed, watching TV. Like, yes. This horrible disaster is just what our paper needed.
This'll get the sales at the newsstands doubled by the end of the week. Can you imagine? Oh, I really hope they follow through with this. Oh boy.
Also, I think in reverse fashion from last week, he's using his cell phone to change the channels.
He's got one of those fancy Google TVs.
Yeah. Just looks like an old, like, 90s cell phone.
He's playing Snake while he's watching that. Whenever they show somebody watching television on Mary Worth,
Yep.
it seems like they always have them with the remote in their hand.
Yes. That's how everyone watches TV.
You don't have to have it in your hand to watch it. I usually get it to the channel I want and then set it down.
They think that if you put the remote down, the TV turns off.
It's got to be able to feel your heartbeat in the palm of your hand or the TV shuts off. It's a power-saving measure.
or, like, you won't be able to see it. Like, the remote is a conduit between you and the television.
Between us and the television realm.
Yes.
Pull back the veil between dimensions and watch 2.5 Men.
What they don't show is he has, like a big, like, precious jewel in his left hand. I summon the power to watch Guy Fieri's Big Bite.
So that's the week.
Yep, that's it.
So,
we're done.
We have another segment on the show other than just reading the damn thing, don't we?
Yeah, I believe we have a thing called
It's the
Worthy Moment of the Week.
Worthy Moment of the Week.
The
Bob,
what?
by George.
Say that louder.
Well, Worthy Moment of the Week.
So, I think you... Wait, did I go first last week, or did you go first?
Does it matter? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
My Worthy Moment of the Week is in Tuesday's strip.
Yeah?
With that weird kind of fish face Mary's making. She looks like all skinny and worn down.
She looks like she put like a half of a lemon in her mouth. And just like, ooh.
But like, look at her skinny arms and her skinny neck. She looks like she's got AIDS or something. Just looks haggard. Like
she's wasting away. That's why she hasn't heard enough of the horrors of the trip yet. That's what feeds her.
She just goes back to her original size as she hears of the terror and the suffering.
Oh boy. My worthy moment of the week. Oh dear, hold on. I'm looking. Is Mary's just face on Saturday.
On
the right panel. Oh god. She's just completely in shadow. It reminds me of like some like drama show on TV where they have really dramatic like colored lighting on one side and the rest of the character's face is just dark.
Like if she were to lean back, you'd only be able to see like you wouldn't be able to see her face. She would just be obscured in shadow completely. And then she leans forward and she goes, "Tell me more."
Mary, what are you doing with that box cutter? Put that down. Oh, God.
As she's putting on an orange rubber suit.
Yes.
Oh, golly.
Oh, boy.
Oh, predictions. Let's do that part of the show. We don't have a sound for that one.
Wow. Should probably make one. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Predictions!
Ba-da-ba-bum! Predictions! Okay.
There we go. Perfect.
I got out I'm classically trained opera singer, if you didn't know that,
Okay.
Eric.
I think Wilbur is going to be at a crossroads. He's either make his career skyrocket by being a survivor on this trip, write about that in the paper, or he's going to, I don't know. Is this really ethical?
I would say that if there was actually any characterization in Mary Worth.
Yes.
Because we all know this whole thing has not been very ethical at all.
Wilbur's going to be like, yeah, sure, I'll write that. Why not?
I've already got 6 pages written up.
My daughter and I came up with a couple of really funny jokes on on the way home, so I can put those in there.
While we were waiting for somebody to come take us to a hotel, I got my cell phone out and got some pictures of bloated bodies being dashed against the rocks. These newspapers will go off the stands like hotcakes.
Yay!
And Wilbur saved the day.
Again.
Again, kind of.
Sort of.
Hell. Let's do some thank-yos. I'd like to thank the Aquabats for writing a song called Sequence Erased, which we use at the beginning of the show as our theme song. We didn't ask permission. They don't even know we're doing it.
But they don't care.
They don't care.
You're in their fan club for crying out loud.
I have been a card-carrying member of the cadet faction for nearly 7 years. So there's not a... I'm sure I've got the inside scoop.
You're practically family at this point.
I'm practically in the band. I'm the member of the band who does little to nothing other than listen to the music.
You're the one in the back that nobody ever notices.
I am not even a person in the crowd because I've never been to one of their shows, but I like them a lot. That's my association with the Aquabats. I'd also like to thank the Robot Beach Boys for being cobbled together in a mad scientist's basement out of broken Casio keyboards and old Casio pocket calculators.
Playback players. And
one of those things that was an exercise machine in the 50s and you got in it and there was the belt on it and it jiggled you around.
Well, with your belly. Yeah, okay.
One of those
all
things.
Those.
That's how you build a Robot Beach Boy, god damn it. At least that's what I've been told. Anyway, they made a song called California Girls and there was a shitty MIDI of it, so we put that at the end of the show.
And it's awesome.
Yeah, you'll hear it in a little bit. It's a real gasser. So we've decided to start thanking people by name. On Facebook, we got likes from Bria and Jonna. I mean, Bria and Jonna.
Sorry about that.
No, I'm not sorry.
Well, I'm sorry. So you'll have to just take my apologies then.
What do you got there, buddy?
On YouTube, we got a comment and also a kiss. Oh boy! By Stuffinification.
Stuffinification. We can't say your username.
I think that's a word, but I don't know how to say it.
I googled it and it didn't come up with any results for me. So whatever.
Must be some kind of science. I don't know. And also by our old friend Shini Ryuk.
Shini Ryuk, how you doing?
Follower from very, very early on.
One of our first, commented on all the episodes, back to commenting. We're glad to see you.
And thank you. Thank you very much.
We also got some reblogios and some comments on Twitter. We got Chris. He's at Eric Chris.
Cool.
He writes books, so maybe you could go find him on Twitter and buy a book. I don't know. We want $50 for that, Chris. We also got
He's lying.
I want 50. I'll take 25 of them. We also got a reblog from, or a retweeter.
We're not on Blogger. What are you, an idiot?
We're not on Blogger. We're on Tumblr, but nobody gives a shit about us on there. We got Craig at Darth_Serac. I play D&D with him sometimes. He's a cool guy. Why don't you go follow him on the Twitter, huh? And we also got why don't you go follow him on Twitter, you fucking fanook? We also got a retweet by Bartek at Because Human. Bartek does a webcomic. It's pretty funny. I read it a couple times, I guess.
All right.
So we're gonna give you guys all big kisses.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
I'm gonna kiss you so hard that you're probably gonna die.
I'm gonna give each and every one of you a great big ol' hickey.
Then you'll have to make up excuses for your parents, or a significant other, and it'll be really awkward.
And here's the thing,
Well,
I'm
thank you.
single, so I don't give a shit. I keep slipping into that New Jersey accent, I don't mean to.
Well, let's just stop the show before it happens again.
Let's just stop the show before I keep
No.
doing this the whole fucking time.
Oh God, please just. What's your name?
My name's Sam.
And I'm Eric. And remember, everyone, the problem with surviving was that you ended up with the ghosts of everyone you'd ever left behind riding on your shoulders.
That's pretty spooky. And that was your week in Merry Worth, for what it's worth!
Goodbye.
California girls!
Go girls, California.
Eric, this is the part where you put in the California Girls song.
Okay, here it comes.
Here it goes!